My name is Miguel Sepulveda. I'd like to welcome you guys to my channel. Today we're going to talk about Jeff Parker's Thunderbolts. This lineup was a beautiful lineup of complete losers. They're all B and C listers that were very dysfunctional, but I really learned to like this particular run. We're going to cover issues 138 to 140. We have some very awesome art by Miguel Sepulveda. Did a killer job. These issues came out in 2010. And we're going to cover the clash between Thunderbolts, this roster, and against the Agents of Atlas. Because I'm a real sucker. I love when superhero teams battle. And especially these pretty obscure characters who come to clash. So in this particular Thunderbolts lineup, you have characters like the Ghost, who, thanks to his title, I discovered he's a really awesome character, and I really love his subversive nature. He really wants to push people's buttons, cause conflict. He wants, in his really weird way, to take down Norman Osborn. You have Scourge. Spoilers, he's actually Nuke. And he's crazy as fuck. He's very tightly wound. The guy's going to explode at any moment. You have Mr. X, who's going to be actually one of the main characters in this first story. Before we get into the battle between these two teams, we have sort of a standalone story where Ghost goes to Mr. X's quarters, sort of pushes his buttons. He tells him, hey, they've been keeping you on a real tight leash. How long has it been since you killed your last person? And he sort of he nudges Mr. X to sort of go AWOL and go on a mission on his own. He goes to Colombia, starts killing paramilitary operatives. He's having a real blast. And this leads to the rest of the team having to hunt him down. We get to see the other teammates. This guy who's called the Headsman or something like that. I think he only appeared once in a retelling, like in the last year's stories of Spider-Man. We have the Eric O'Grady Ant-Man, who I also loved how much of a coward he is in this series. Every time he can, he tries to find a place to hide, or he runs in the other direction. We have Paladin, who also is written to be a pretty interesting character in the series. Normally, I don't care too much for a Paladin. So what happens? They hunt down Mr. X. They're really pissed off with their teammate, because he went AWOL. Everyone had to stop what they were doing to hunt him down. But when they all get attacked by this paramilitary unit, the team's able to set aside their differences and just go on a full-on killing spree. They take down all these guys. It's really funny because Ant-Man's like totally freaking out to seeing all the carnage that's going down. And what happens is Norman Osborn finds out about this whole situation with Mr. X, all that went down, and he doesn't really do anything. He's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to give you guys a little treat. I'm going to send you guys to hunt down the Agents of Atlas. In the Agents of Atlas series that I'm going to cover later on, these guys totally screwed over Norman Osborn. For those who don't know, Agents of Atlas are actually a group of superheroes who pose to simulate their bad guys. Jimmy Woo actually inherited a criminal organization from this villain called Yellow Claw, and actually he's trying to reform this whole organization. So they sort of show to the world that they're bad guys, but they're not. They're trying to do good things. And what happens in this particular story is Grizzly gets recruited onto the Thunderbolts. He's had some issues with Agents of Atlas, so he wants to take vengeance on these guys. And they're going to attack one of their chemical manufacturing plants. They're making chemical weapons here. It's one of the... it's part of the Agents of Atlas's organization, but they're sort of off the books. Jimmy is not really aware of this installation, but every time they attack one of these places, they call out to the Agents of Atlas for help. So the Thunderbolts arrive, start killing people left and right. They actually destroy the plant, and so we have chemical weapons floating around all over the place. So Ghost gives everyone a shot so they don't die. Agents of Atlas arrive, and something really cool happens. So we have Venus. She has her song that makes everyone seize their deepest fantasies, especially if they're sexual in nature. So everyone's like pretty much knocked out. She's like Eros, Thanos' brother, but on steroids. But when her song hits the ears of Scourge, who is actually Nuke, we discover he's Nuke actually in this story. He totally flips out. It has the totally opposite effect. He sees his worst fears. He sees all the people that he's killed during his life, and he just flips out. So this leads to a pretty kick-ass battle between both of the teams. Scourge is really pissed. Like he didn't like the idea of somebody trying to manipulate his brain. And he's all kinds of fucked up. He goes for a kill shot on Marvel Boy. He cuts his stomach open. His alien guts are on the floor. And what happens is Venus is so saddened by the apparent death of Marvel Boy, she starts to cry, and everyone starts seeing their worst nightmares. Like Paladin seems to be really afraid of the Green Goblin. Like Norman Osborn has some dirt on him, and that's sort of why he's working with them. We have the Grizzly, who seems to be terribly afraid of Spider-Man. Mr. X, who seems to be afraid of Wolverine. We have Nuke, who totally just rips off his mask and starts to go even into more crazier levels of insanity. So the agents of Atlas decide to leave the battlefield because that chemical agent is actually starting to kill them. So when they leave, Marvel Boy, who actually was sort of a red herring, he wasn't dying, but he sort of got lost in Nuke's mind. He tried to read his mind, and it almost broke him. So what he does, he implants the idea of the next time they see Norman Osborn, he's going to shoot him on sight. So they leave that little present for him. They find ghosts hiding out on the Agents of Atlas ship. They're not okay with them. They're able to kick them out. And what happens is the Thunderbolts, when they're back at their base, they get this hologram of Norman Osborn telling them about their next mission. And since Scourge had that idea implanted in him, he shoots at the hologram immediately and kills one of his teammates. Poor Headsman, he's dead. He got shot in the head. And that's all I got to tell you guys. So, hope you guys like this video. Next video I'm going to do about the Thunderbolts is this Siege of Asgard tie-in, which was pretty good. Hope you guys like this one. Leave a like. See you guys next time. Bye.